everyone, surprise, I'm back. I just gave an update earlier this week. I'm jumping on here. I wanted to let you guys know my plan is to try to get on my channel once or twice a week for shorter periods of time, maybe like a 10-minute, 15-minute video just to share some topics. I've been getting a lot of questions the last 5-6 months, a lot of the same questions, but helpful things that I think that it would be great for me to share to advocate for new subscribers that are just maybe starting their cancer journey, families that are walking through this, and also just connecting with the community so that we can interact and support one another on things that we're walking through. I think just sharing provides so much power and knowledge and understanding of what cancer really looks like on the day-to-day, long-term, just walking through all the different aspects of it. I think it is powerful to share and educate and advocate for one another. And so just expect that I'm going to be trying to get on here more consistently in this next season of my journey and story. So for all of you that are just joining my channel, welcome. I'm Steph. And I wanted to talk today a little bit about how my cancer diagnosis has impacted my children, how my husband and I, Ton and I, have gone about sharing our diagnosis with our kids, how it's impacted them, and the tools and resources that we have leaned in to support them along this journey. I know it was probably one of the hardest things for us to do, to share with our kids that I had stage 4 cancer. But we both felt like it was the best thing to do, to share with them in an age appropriate way, as well as not sugarcoat it, but give them enough information that they could understand kind of what our family was going to be walking through. My oldest son, Max, is 11 years old. My youngest son, Alexander, is 8 years old, and they were a year younger when we talked with them. And so I remember we were sitting them down and we told them, Mama's sick. Mama, we got this news that Mama has cancer and what that means. And I think one of the first things talking to your kids is letting them know that they didn't do anything wrong, that their mama didn't do anything wrong, that our family didn't do anything wrong. Also, that it's not a contagious disease. Like I remember Alexander was like, "Am I gonna, catch it from you?" And that was something that we had to let him know right away. It's like, I'm not contagious. That's not that type of illness. It's, what exactly it is. And I remember Ton actually found like a video. It's called Cells at Work on YouTube. And it was kind of an anime video of like what a family, like even like at the cellular level of the white cells fighting, protecting the other cells, and like the war that's going on inside of a body when someone is going through cancer. And so that was actually really helpful for them. That really helped them understand what cancer actually, in the physical situation of what's actually going on inside of my body. That was really helpful for them to understand. I think my eldest son really responded and has been impacted more visibly than my younger son. I think my younger son has a harder time understanding what all is going on. But giving them the space to be scared. I remember telling, my kids, I know this is scary, like this is a lot for you to handle, and it's okay for us to be scared. But we're always going to be here. We're always going to give you updates. If you don't understand something, we want you to come and talk to us. We're going to do everything we can to, do our best. We believe that God's going to take care of our family. But just walking through that, I think um, definitely, we started looking for resources, especially for my eldest, like getting some counseling set up for him once every 2 weeks where he had a safe place to go and talk to another person that wasn't his mom or dad, so that if he was having a hard time, he could, talk to his counselor. We definitely leaned heavily on the school systems. Our school was amazing. We let the principal know and their teachers know, saying this is what our family's going through, and we want to do our best to support them. So the school counselor would check on them every week. Um, we would let their teachers know if they were having a hard day. Um, but there was just a lot of grace given, from us and the school. Another thing that we leaned in on on our summers that we've only had 2 summers, but I remember telling my family, and I'm not, I'm going to say we're very blessed. So I know that not every family can do this, but I think taking advantage of what you do have, the community that you do have, the resources your community has, there's so many resources out there. I would say take advantage of every resource you can. We had our family in California, and I remember, everybody's like, how can we help you? What can we do? And I remember telling them, because we had just gotten diagnosed right before summer break. And I told my family, I was like, I really want to send the kids to California for like a good chunk of time so that they don't have to be around their mama when we're just trying to get a handle on what this looks like and how I'm going to respond to treatment and how I'm going to be doing emotionally, physically, everything. Like, I wanted to shield my kids from seeing all of that firsthand, not knowing how I was going to be, and have that, be able to be kids, be able to go swimming in the summer with their cousins and go on trips. And it was so awesome because my sisters were like, we got this. We'll give the kids a summer to remember. And that was one of the best decisions, because, I think we could have been scared and like held them close, but by almost like releasing our kids to our family to love on our kids, it gave us some extra space to like figure out our diagnosis and what the beginning of the journey was going to look like. And I think it shielded the kids too from seeing me kind of at my worst until I could get a little bit of a handle on things and know how this was going to look and everything. So, I mean, if families out there are going through this at the beginning, if there's, and it really depends on timing, but I think finding opportunities of when your kids are out of school, if you have family that's willing to, support you in that way, taking advantage of it, or friends, or, close friends, community of people. I had some close friends, the 2 a.m. crew of friends that you could call at any moment. We had called on them. They took our kids for, I think, a week during that time as well. And so it was just a huge blessing. I think also spending quality time with your kids, and when you are feeling good, has been a huge thing that I've tried to make part of our routine. So especially at bedtime, like I try to do some devotion time with the kids, or we actually just started a new app. It's called Legends, and it's like a 5 minutes confidence learning app. And it's just like a short little video about someone that persevered, someone that has found success in life, and how they had to work through self-confidence. Because I feel like, my eldest is walking through puberty and school change, from elementary school to junior high. And it's a lot to deal with between that and his mom having cancer, and his dad trying to juggle his work situation, school situation, his family, the kids. So um, finding little things that can bring confidence to your kids or have them feel safe has been like a game changer. Um, but even just keeping things open, um, you know, I've found sometimes my kids are a little bit more clingy, I've noticed, or a little bit more anxious, and not, you know, being aware of those things. And then even just being like giving grace to those things. Like, if my kids want to hold my hands all the time, or like cuddle with me all the time, or need extra like touch or love or time to talk, or it's like, I don't, you're not concerned about as much about perspective of other people looking in. You're more just concerned about how your kid is doing, which I mean, you would hope that's always the case. But I've had situations where my 11-year-old needed more support, maybe, and if someone didn't know what was going on, they could be like, that's a little, you know odd. And I'm like, I don't even care. Like, if my kid wants to hold my hand, you know or needs to be just supported even extra, it's like they're going through so much. And so whatever they need, it's like, okay. um I think in this season, like, the future in the future, looking back, it's like, I think being sensitive to your kids and getting in front of it and getting them situated and secure as much as possible, even through the process, is going to set them up for so much more success in the future. Um, and I'm seeing it happen before my eyes. Like, we're in a year in, and there's been so many things that I've been like, I'm like, I don't know, like, this may be harder, these different milestones of development and growth. Like, I've had some concerns, and as we're continuing to walk through it, as we're more intentional and looking at it, I'm just seeing my kids blossom. And so I think therapy is always a good idea. I think finding extra resources that work for you is a great idea. I think taking advantage of what you have available to you, whether that's friends, whether that's family, whether that's church, whether that's community, whether that's social services. If there's lots of different, um, through insurance, through the city, through the state. So it's like, whatever is available to you, take advantage of it. Don't feel guilty about it. Don't, be shy about it. Don't ask for help. Like, lean into the help, the resources that are available to you. I think just being in tune with your kids, because I think every kid is going to respond differently. My youngest is still young enough that I think that he doesn't fully understand. And so I've been trying to keep an eye on him and kind of gauge when I think I need to get him maybe into counseling. It may be soon, the time, like, maybe soon for him to get into counseling, but I'm kind of waiting to, see how he's doing. Because I think, at some point he will need it. But he's doing so well. And so, um, thank you for being here with us. If you're a parent walking through the cancer journey, just sending our love, because this is probably the hardest part of the diagnosis, is the impacts it has on your kids. And so I hope that some of this helps. If you have any questions or comments or suggestions or advice, please put it in the comments. I really want this to be a community of advocating for each other and supporting each other through this. You're not alone. And but thank you for your support. It means more than you know. Subscribe, please, to the channel. Subscribing helps us continue to share on topics like this. And I'll continue to come on here once or twice a week to just share on different topics that I think will be helpful. So thanks so much.